What is happening, Ranger Nation? Welcome back to K-Wings Let's Plays, and it's time for more Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Arcade Mode.
Hiya!
Today's character we're looking at is Jen Scotts, the pink Time Force Ranger. So,
it's time for a Time Force!
That's right. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when more Power Rangers arrives here on K-Wings Let's Plays.
Yeah.
So, last time we did a Tray of Triforia, and pay no attention to this. This is actually Amber's Switch, so she hasn't really done arcade. Oops.
I am sorry!
All right, so we're going to take the, quote, who I believe is the leader of the Time Force Rangers, Jen, into action.
Yeah?
And we're going to bring in fan favorite Tommy, rocking his version 2. And we're going to bring in another girl, so let's go with... Ooh, I like the idea of bringing SPD into this.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
SPD Emergency!
And we're bringing OG Megazord into this. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And we found out that there's like 7 guys, 6 girls, and 1 monster in this game.
Yep.
And that monster's Goldar.
And Lord Zed would make 2 monsters.
Yeah.
Let's do this!
SPD Cat Ranger.
3, 2,
Yeah. So I was just asking Luke before we started, like, okay, so what's so special about Jen again, Time Force Ranger? And he's like, I'm gonna let you know when we actually do the video. So it's like, okay.
Well, Time Force is a very popular Power Rangers franchise, or season, whatever. I don't know if I would call it a season. I mean, it almost feels like each Power Rangers series is its own distinct thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Sentai is all connected, and Power Rangers is all connected as well. But Time Force was a uber popular series, just like Power Rangers in Space was, you know, kind of like originally the swan song of Power Rangers. But because of its success, it spurred like so many other series like Lost Galaxy and Time Force and all this other stuff. But Time Force were these Rangers that were traveling, you know, back in time and doing the whole Back to the Future thing. And
Oh, okay.
on one of their journeys back in time, basically tracking this dude, I forget his name, but
Yeah.
their villain, their Red Ranger is killed in action, and he is the fiance of the Pink Ranger. So the Pink Ranger ends up seeing her fiance destroyed by this bad dude.
Oh yeah, you were showing me clips of that, and then she meets another guy that looks just like him or something.
That's
another time.
the ancestor of the Red Ranger that was killed in action.
And then
Yep.
does she fall in love with his ancestor after
Yes,
that?
she does!
Okay, that's kind of weird, but I guess it's romantic, but in a weird way.
It worked. Because, like, her boyfriend, when he comes back to life somehow, I believe his name was Alex,
Yeah.
he's kind of different. You know, think like Lazarus Pit type thing. He comes back, he's a real jerk, and she falls for Wes.
Aww.
Yeah, it's very cute. But
Right, now I'm getting
what made
tingles.
Jen so cool is she was actually a ranger that was just bent on revenge, because she was going to follow this guy through time and space to end him for destroying her love.
Oh wow. She's
So-
an angry elf.
Oh yeah, she takes command of the Rangers.
Time for Time Force.
She is a really hardcore fighter.
Now I can remember who Jen is because okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was super intense, not girly at all, actually.
In terms of popular Ranger polls, I'm going by a current one that happened by our friends over at Power Rangers Battle for the Grid fans.
Yeah.
Jen made 4th place of most popular Rangers that were not in Battle for the Grid yet.
Wow. That's pretty.
Jason
wow.
Gold Ranger got 6th. It's interesting enough, Trey as a Gold Ranger got a lower position than Jason.
Oh, interesting.
I know, which I don't really understand, you know? So,
Yeah, so we're not the only ones who would have preferred Jason, but
yeah, because Trey doesn't really have that big of a following.
I guess they're just trying to put different Rangers in here, but what? I know that Tommy's already in here twice, but...
He's going to be in here 3 times now. I'm pretty sure
my
that
gosh.
the White Ranger is going to be in this game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to be in the game before Hasbro took over.
I think that we all would have loved to see Jason in here, but, you know, hey.
We have him as the Red Ranger, and ASJ is back doing the voice, so, I mean, that is wicked sweet. And Jason's moveset is not that of a typical, like, standard Ranger character. Like, he's actually a really good tier character to play as. Like, people really like playing as Jason.
So Jen kind of takes over the Time Force Rangers because her boyfriend used to take over.
Her boyfriend was the leader, yep.
Used to be the leader.
And when the new Red Ranger, the ancestor of the later guy, he is kind of wet behind the ears. Eventually, he kind of takes leadership of the team, I think, near the end of their series. But she is the one who's calling all the shots. She's familiar with time travel, the Megazords, all that other stuff. So
that's cool.
She was very popular in her show. Their romance was really cute. But then they did more with Jen Scott's character.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you about that in a sec.
With the power of
Awesome.
So, Saban was trying to do some things different with the Power Rangers brand a couple years ago, and they decided to do a tabletop RPG series called Power Rangers Hyperforce, which, if you see the name Hyperforce, you're like, wait a second, isn't there another Power Rangers show with Force in the title? That's because Hyperforce are cadets of Time Force in the future. So Jen Scott's is like their general or their like sergeant or their trainer.
Oh, cool. So she becomes a trainer for cadets.
Right, and they brought back the brother of Yoshi to play the Red Ranger for this tabletop RPG series. They also brought in well, I wouldn't say he's a friend of ours. We know of him. Or we know him, kind of. Andre the Black Nerd played the Blue Ranger.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And he really enjoyed doing that. They brought back Bulk, Skull, who played... Bulk, who played the Bulk and Skull duet in Mighty Morphin and a lot of Power Ranger series. He became the Yellow Ranger that was kind of very similar to Hunk from Voltron. This big, towering character. He played the Yellow Hyperforce Ranger, who coincidentally made it into Legacy Wars.
Cool.
And, you know...
So what did they do? They did, like, video clips, and then they had, like, a tabletop thing?
It's a Dungeons & Dragons thing, so they would act out different things, and they ran into past Rangers. So they would have past Rangers come on and do, like, this live stream with them. It was a tabletop game that lasted, I believe their episodes were about 4 hours long. So they would sit there playing the tabletop RPG. They recorded probably like 30 episodes, something like that.
That's cool.
And then they brought them into the comic book.
Whoa.
But, so that's what Jen was doing. And coincidentally, Lord Draken played a big role in the Hyperforce universe as well, because he popped up there and was causing problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And,
in the Hyperforce universe,
because he was going around collecting people's morphers. So he battled the Hyperforce Rangers for possession of Scorpina, which was a Mighty Morphin villain that he fought when he was a teenager and still a good guy.
So he battled the cadets, or
yeah, they're basically cadets. They even had a silver SPD or a Time Force Ranger on their team,
like junior Rangers, basically.
Yeah. What up,
Back to action.
Jen is just like, all right, let's get this over with.
So that's really cool. So they did a lot with Jen then. So she's like,
oh, they still do.
She's like a veteran ranger that's like super intense. Yeah.
Yep, but that wasn't the end of Jen either. Jen also was involved with the whole Shattered Grid event, where the Time Force Rangers noticed an anomaly where Lord Draken was basically bending the Morphin Grid to go and collect all these powers. The Time Force Rangers were caught up in some type of supernova or something where their Megazord exploded, and Wes pushed Jen into like some type of like time anomaly and sent her back in time to prevent Lord Draken from doing all the bad stuff. But the Time Rangers presumably were all killed in action in front of Jen as she was being sucked into, the past.
Wow.
And of course, Jen did not arrive in time to save Tommy from being killed by Lord Draken, but she did stay with the original Mighty Morphin team minus Tommy's, the Green Ranger, and she helped them recruit Rangers that didn't have their powers taken to battle Lord Draken. And she became kind of like a good friend of Kimberly as well.
Cool.
Like teenage Kimberly.
That's awesome. So wow, that's so much that Jen did. That's amazing, actually. Yep. If you think about her storyline, it's pretty dark though, with her boyfriend dying right
twice. Because he died in the show, then came back, but then you have in the Boom comics, the Time Rangers, the Time Force people, their Megazord explodes. You don't know what happens to them. They're presumed gone.
Well, not only did he die, but he came back as a Lazarus person.
I don't know how Alex came back.
Not Lazarus, but he came back different, like you said.
Yeah.
And then, she ended up meeting this other guy. Yeah, she's it makes sense that someone like her, who's been through so much, would be able to handle almost anything and be able to train new Rangers. So, that's cool. She's such a different personality than a lot of the Pink Rangers, because you'd think the Pink Rangers would be like, nice stereo, or whatever.
Yeah, very feminine and stuff. She's a take charge kind of gal.
She's more like Viking Ranger or something.
Yeah.
She's really fierce warrior.
And
That's
since
cool.
this game is basically an adaptation of the Shattered Grid storyline, Jen played a big role in the story. So it would make sense that she would, of course, be a playable character in this game, because she is a very popular Ranger.
Yeah.
Like I said, according to that unofficial poll, she is number 4 out of hundreds of Rangers.
That's amazing.
She even beat out the current new show, Beast Morphers.
Oh my gosh, so she must be super popular. And just looking at her outfit, she has one of the coolest Pink Ranger outfits ever. Especially the hearts on it. I feel that softens her tough interior and exterior. It's she even has hearts on her blades, dual blades.
Yep.
Of hearts on them. It's very cute but terrifying. Yeah, so that's cool. That's awesome. Well, thanks for letting me know all that stuff. That's really cool.
And that the story mode has been continued in this game, so we still don't know what's going to happen. That could be a year away, or it could be this fall. This game has so much potential, and I really hope that Enway, who apparently are watching our stuff a lot more, like when we did Legacy Wars the first year.
Yeah.
They would watch our stuff and be like, oh, So the new people are watching us pretty closely.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just speaking directly to you guys that people want more of the story. They want to know how things are going to happen, and there are a lot of characters that they would love to see. And if it's possible to keep adding all these characters, you could have a longevity Power Rangers game on your hand, which would be a first for fighting games, really.
Yeah,
they only usually last a year or two.
Yeah, definitely. And then you keep up the hype for a year and have people keep buying the game, hopefully, and playing Power Rangers, getting the DLC and stuff. That'd be awesome.
Tommy, you don't got this.
You're on my favorite stage again, Luke. Yeah.
Hold it right there.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was her super move.
Time Force. Yeah, she even looks cool with the... No, but Jen was actually in part of the story already, so she was hinted that she might have been in the game. I thought she was in a clip of the story already.
Yeah, we did the entire story, remember?
Yeah, I thought she was had a cameo at one point in the story.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we thought, oh my gosh, they're probably gonna put her in the game.
Uh-oh. Ow.
Yeah,
That's uncalled for.
Where is she holding that giant gun? On her back or something.
Hold it right there.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Eat fire.
Sorry, Trini. No hard feelings. Oh! Oh, whoa! We're in trouble. Oh, we lost. Oh, snap.
Oh,
Whoops.
no.
2,
All right.
1. Fight.
So I wonder what Jen does on her spare time when she's not like angrily like trying to avenge like her like deceased boyfriend.
I always thought her revenge arc was kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
Because, I mean, seeing a Pink Ranger... Because, I mean, she's wearing a skirt, you know, with her uniform, and she's, like, all, like, this gruff, like, drill sergeant for her team.
I know.
And showing no mercy to the monsters that they fight.
It is pretty cool, I have to say, because, I mean, come on. It's not just guys who seek out revenge and have anger issues. Girls can have anger issues, too. And I like that. It's true, though. But yeah, I mean, not like she has anger issues. She channels it in a good way, destroying monsters. It's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it is really cool to see that side of her. It's such a cool thing to see a different type of girl ranger, which is, I mean, that's kind of why I loved Trini, because she was she wasn't like your typical popular girl. She was totally different. She liked science and math, and she was completely her own person, which is why I think Jen is so cool too, is, you know, she's a girl, but then she has her own personality completely, so.
Totally.
Part of it is due to anger, but also it has to do with her passion that she's, you know, I think, like, she's willing to do whatever it takes. Like, some girls might just be really sad and like, oh, I'm just gonna have to deal with that he's gone. But she's like, no, I'm getting revenge. She's kind of an action kind of person, you know?
Oh, totally. But you have to remember one thing, too. At the end of the Time Force series, she actually has to go back to the future and leave Wes, her true love, so the ancestor, back in the past. Because he has to live out his life in order for the Time Force people... Because remember, if you mess up something in the past, the future won't happen.
Yeah,
so they can't be together.
Oh
so
my gosh, it's so tragic.
Yeah.
All of existence is going to be destroyed by your master, including yourself, unless you stand down.
Ah, when my lord finishes his conquest, I shall be a god.
I don't have time for this. Get out of my way, or fall to my chronostabers!
Yeah!
Time for
You
time.
tell him, Jen.
Good job.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, go time.
Yep, Goldar's ready for action.
Yep, so Jen also has the ability to fire her cannons, which, like that, it brings death from above.
I mean, the Time Force, yeah, that is really cool. I was just thinking the Time Force outfits in general, when you were showing me, like, some of the clips of them, a long time ago, I remember.
Hold it right there.
Their outfits in general are pretty cool looking, actually.
Oh, yeah.
They look kind of futuristic-y, but, yeah.
I'm pretty sure in terms of Ranger teams, I remember, like, official polls back when... Disney used to do official polls. Jason won, like, the best Red Ranger of all time. Back when, I believe the current season that was on the air at that time was Operation Overdrive. Mm-hmm. So, up until Operation Overdrive, Jason won in a landslide the best Red Ranger and leader of the Power Rangers of all time poll.
Yeah.
Best Ranger teams, I believe, went, number 1 went to Time Force. And then it went to, I want to say Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, Power Rangers maybe in space, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin, and then the other team, I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm glad Jason won the best Ranger, Red Ranger of all time. That makes sense.
Well, that was back during Operation Overdrive. They haven't really done those polls anymore, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Jason is still really popular since he, you know, was in that poll where people wanted him over Trey, obviously.
Yep.
But Yeah, and hopefully, I can't wait. I really hope they're gonna bring Jason back as the, you know, the elite Red Ranger. Like, I mean, I know they already did the comics, but I'm hoping that.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's gonna appear in Beast Morphers. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Aww. Not good.
Oh yeah, so he is definitely going to be appearing in Beast Morphers in some way.
Probably as the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger.
We just don't know how yet. Yeah.
A lot of people are hoping that he has like a Master Morpher so he can go red and gold, but he gave the powers back to Trey, so I don't think so.
We must destroy the Chaos Crystal before Lord Draken can do any more damage with it.
All right, time for the final level with
Whoa.
Jen Scott.
Come on, Jen.
I know, a lot of fun.
Time for it.
Now, has there ever been a time where a Pink Ranger has led the Power Rangers except for Time Force then? You probably don't know off the top of your head.
There's been so many Ranger teams now that I don't know. I know that she was.
Yeah, it's probably very rare though.
There's been female leaders. Like the first female leader of the Power Rangers was the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. The White Ranger from that was the leader, and she was a girl. Although what's interesting, if you go and you watch the Sentai version of that show, the Red Ranger in Japan of that ninja team is the leader.
Oh, I see how it goes.
And he even does a lot of really heroic things, acting as like a second in command type thing. So that Red Ranger was more competent than Rocky, this Red Ranger. But the clips that they used for that show, you know, the White Ranger and I believe the Red Ranger had a thing from Sentai.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure though.
That's interesting.
Because I've never seen their Sentai version. Oh my god.
But I'm guessing it's even more rare than, I mean, I know that the girl, like there's been, you know, several times the girl's been the leader, but at the same time, I think it's even more rare for the Pink Ranger to be the leader, because the Pink Ranger is usually like the girly one that's, you know, just like, you know, not wanting to... I don't know, just like probably into her girly stuff and not wanting to be like the tough leader. But then, you know, when Jen takes over, that's pretty cool actually. So, yeah. But then I think at the beginning she probably she wasn't the leader, but then she just stepped it up and became the leader, which is really cool.
I love Swipity Swipity.
Yeah, I mean, Cat Ranger is so cool. She's one of the coolest characters in this game and in Legacy Wars, actually.
I would be curious to see, like, the Rangers that weren't on the unofficial poll that, you know, our friends over at Battle for the Grid did. Mm-hmm. I'd be curious to see, like, an official Ranger poll, like, the characters that are actually in this game, where they rank overall. I know Green Ranger would rank really high. White Ranger ranked pretty high, too, in that poll. I believe he got, like, 8th place or 9th overall.
Well, I mean, I know Green Ranger would rank super high, because whenever we do a video with Green Ranger in it, it's like, it gets, like, a ton of views, because people are just waiting for another Green Ranger. People just, you know, love Green Ranger. I mean, Tommy's been in so many series. Like, he's been doing Power Rangers for so long. He's just, such a big fan favorite. Especially as Lord Draken, though. You love Tommy as Lord Draken, which I feel like he does an even better job as Lord Draken.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Ooh.
Whoops.
Alright, come on, Jen, you've got this!
So they've actually balanced the game a little bit differently now, so the difficulty has been raised for the final bosses. And this is basically like a boss rush mode. You fight Ranger Slayer, and then Lord Draken comes up and says hi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I cannot wait for Lord Zed to come out. That's gonna be so cool. I wonder how his voice is gonna sound.
Well, the thing is, unfortunately, the actor who played him, who's most famous for him, he's been in a hospital for several months now, and it hasn't been good.
Oh my god.
So we don't know if he's recorded lines for his character, if they're waiting for him to get out of the hospital, if they're gonna get an impersonator. but
Oh, no.
yeah, he's not doing well.
Oh, well, I guess we'll just all keep him in our thoughts and prayers then.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Lord Zed, the guy who acted as him and did his voice and everything, like, did such a great job and, like, just gave him so much personality and stuff like that. I thought he actually came back and kind of revitalized, like, the bad guys because people were kind of getting sick of Rita, and then Lord Zed came in and, you know...
Lord Zed was an original creation, whereas Rita was from the Super Sentai show.
Yeah.
And they just kind of changed her character a little bit, but Lord Zed was an original creation for Power Rangers, and it spiked the ratings too, because he looked pretty terrifying for a children's villain.
Oh, he definitely did, and it's like he's kind of supposed to be kind of inside out looking. And it's just like really gross if you really think about it. But I guess he's kind of an alien too, so but he is a terrifying but at the same time funny villain. Kind of reminds me of a wrestler, like a WWE star or whatever.
Lord Zed did not actually become a comical bad guy until Rocky, Adam, and Aisha were the replacement Rangers. They actually... I feel like the censors got a hold of the show, and after the really big martial artist people were gone, like the person who did the Kung Fu, which was Twee, Jason, the heavy, like, Muay Thai, and, you know, really powerful karate stuff. Like, he did a lot of kicking people in the head, and they went and they made, like, the other new characters, like, more softer, more younger.
Yeah.
Rocky became kind of a joke. Adam, like, kind of took up the typical Yellow Ranger things, you know, Oriental stuff. Mm-hmm. And Aisha was also, like, a really fun, flirty, kind of, like, became Kimberly's best friend type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Welcome to my palace. I see you've bested my guards, but you still are a fool to come here.
Surrender, Lord Draken, in the name of the Time Force. I placed you under arrest for crimes against reality.
Amusing. I'll be taking that chronomorpher off your hands now. We'll see about that.
That's what you think.
That's right.
I haven't got time for this, Lord Draken.
Yeah, a lot of time puns in Time Force. Totally.
I like time puns. I mean, how could you not use them? Your name is Time Force, yeah. That's cool.
But this actually, I was hoping they would get the actress back to play Jen because she loves doing fan stuff.
Yeah.
But this is actually a lady who I believe plays Jen Scott's, plays another role in this. I think she's the voice of, not Udana. I think she's Cat Ranger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, that would have been cool if they actually got Jen back.
I mean, they always could change it later, but I think the lady does a pretty good impression of Jen Scott's.
Yeah,
actually.
she does. I think she does a good job. She sounds pretty tough. Pretty cool.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Jen!
Oh, Lord Draken.
No. Draken doesn't really pull any punches here.
Well, if you're not careful, the difficulty has been increased, but there's no difficulty slider. There needs to be, because it would make arcade mode a lot more fun, like replaying it. Right now, we only replay it when there's new characters that release for the game. So. Ow. Ow! Ow! Stop that! Oh my gosh!
You have been warned.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Alright, we almost got it.
Come on, Cat Ranger, you've got this.
Last life bar. Come on, Cat Stunner! No, 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 no.
Yeah, Cat has some really cool moves. Oh my gosh. I can never figure out where those bullets are coming from, or...
Shoot. Oh, that's bad.
No! Watch out for Lord Dragon. Ah.
Oh my gosh. No, 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 no! Come on, Tommy, get him.
Come on, Tommy! Take him down! You've got this, Tommy! Aya!
And Hadouken! Oh, Hadouken! There we go.
Yeah! Tommy wins.
Tommy wins with Hadouken to the face. Hadouken!
Awesome.
Alrighty.
You will stand trial for your crimes. I have a feeling you're going away for a long time.
See, time puns.
Time puns for the win.
Oh my gosh. So there you guys go. That is the end of the first 2 characters from Season Pass number 1.
Woo!
Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Let us know what you think about Jen Scott in action, and come back for our Versus series, where we'll be having Gold Ranger and Time Force Pink duking it out in Power Rangers Versus.
Woo!
So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and also be on the lookout for our Power Rangers voice actor update video featuring Time Force Pink and Trey of Triforia added to our whole voiceover clip thing, so you can hear the voices more clearly and all that fun stuff. I'll get that up before the end of the week.
That's so cool when you're able to do that. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys all have a good rest of your day, and stay glued to Games Let's Plays for more awesome videos every day.
That's right. Until then, Ranger Nation, God bless and happy gaming. The power will protect you always.
See ya!